Alright, in today's video we are going to wirelessly communicate a random number. That number will then make this LED blink a certain amount of times, and then that will turn into sound. How are we going to do that? Let's check our code. We have our variable set here in our first three lines, our light sensor, our LED, and our piezo. Our next two lines are going to be our blink count and our number. Those two variables are going to be used to set our number of beeps for our piezo, and then the number of times the LED will blink. The third line will be our threshold. We're going to use that later on to make it so that if the light value for the photoresistor falls below 900, then it'll increment the blink count. In our void setup, we have our two outputs, our LED and our piezo. Here we begin serial communication, and here we have our random seed, and that will be RE1, which is floating, as you can see here. We have it floating so that our voltage will vary and the random number will be more random. In our main loop, we start off basically with our number generator. That line will basically generate a number between 1 and 9. It won't reach anything higher than that. Our serial print will then print the random number, and then followed by a number. So it'll say random number, and then it'll be like 3. In our for statement, we're going to be using a for statement, which will then grab the number produced and basically make the LED blink that said number. So if the random number is 5, it'll blink up to 5 times and then stop. And these 4 lines are what are going to make that happen. So it'll turn on, it'll wait for 650 milliseconds, it'll turn off, and then wait for another 650 milliseconds. Followed by that, or at the same time, the light sensor will read the value, or the variable light will read the light sensor value and then store it in the light value. And then in our serial monitor, it will print out light value and then the actual light value. So it'll be like light value, and then, for example, let's say it's like 897. And then so that it doesn't do it so quickly, or it doesn't count, or so we have a more accurate light value, we put a delay of 150 milliseconds. And then next would be our if statement. This is going to be controlling the blink count. So if the light is under 900, then it'll increment the blink count, and then the blink count will then control the amount of times that the piezo will blink down here. But before that, in our serial monitor, the blink count will increment here. So if the blink count does increase, it'll change. So for example, it'll be like 1 and then 2 and then 3. And then we're gonna delay it 1500 milliseconds, and we're gonna do that so that it transitions a lot smoother. Before the delay, it was just transitioning way too quickly, and it was just not as easy to see. And then we're gonna have our for statement for the piezo, and we're just gonna use the blink count to control the amount of times it'll make sound. And we're gonna set the piezo at 1000 hertz for 500 milliseconds, and then we're gonna delay it 1000 milliseconds between every beep or sound. And then at the end of that, we're gonna reset our blink count and delay it for 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds before producing the next random number and starting the cycle all over again. So now we're gonna demonstrate it. We're gonna connect it here. All right, so here, let's check. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Alright. So our random number is going to be 9. Here the LED is going to blink. The light sensor is going to then check the light value. The light value is falling below 900. So it's going to keep incrementing it until it blinks the random number value, and then the piezo will then blink that, or make that many sounds. Okay, let's do it again. So the random number was 5. It'll increment up to 5, and then there we go. Here, one more time. This time we'll keep track of the number of times the piezo makes sound. That'll just be 1. Oh wait, no. 8. Alright. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the piezo works. Let's check the LED this time. Random number will be 2. Here, let me get a better showing of the LED. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then stops. Yep. And that's basically how it works.